Yo, what up, everybody? Mark Jenkins, a trusted realtor. Listen up closely. Before I even get into this video, you need to hit the likes button right now. Go ahead and pay the plug. The information I'm giving y'all, man, I watch YouTube. I see the other YouTubers. All they do is talk about articles and they try to scare you and give you all whatever. You know what I'm saying? They just talk and say whatever. I am the only YouTuber that gives you real solutions on what to do. I'm the only person here that's actually trying to teach you something. Everybody else, they just doing it for clicks. I'm doing it here to make sure that you win on your next real estate transaction. I'm meeting with people. I'm helping people buy homes. Like, I actually do this. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm a realtor that's giving you the real information on the housing market. So go ahead, hit the likes button. That's your way. And might I add, a free way of you just letting me know that you appreciate the information that I'm giving you. Because listen, I could be just like everybody else and just lie to you and just tell you, like the video that I made the other day, that now is the perfect time to buy. I can get up here and beat the drum and tell you that 8% interest rates, it's not that bad. You know, I had somebody jump into my comments yesterday on Instagram talking about, we don't got 8% rates. Come on, man. Stop misleading the people. I'm not one of those people. I'm not here to mislead you. So hit the likes button because the information that I'm going to cover, man, I promise you, you've never seen this information anywhere. Your mama didn't teach you. Your daddy, if you knew him, didn't teach you. Your realtor sure didn't teach you. Your school teacher didn't teach you. College didn't teach you. All of these places where you spent a lot of time with these people in places, they didn't teach you this information. And guess what? You're about to get it right here for free on YouTube from a trusted realtor. And you know what the worst part about today's housing market is? Everybody is selling their junk. Nobody really wants to tell you the truth. I don't know if they're afraid to tell you the truth because they're not making money or they got to make that last little bit of sales. Like, I feel like real estate now has become like the used car sales market. Everything's good. Hey man, how's that car drive? Runs great, man. Runs great. And then you see all these articles about these people switching up titles and the title fraud and rolling back odometers. That's the same thing what's going on with the real estate market right now. You're working with uneducated people, unqualified people, and they don't really care about you. So I'm not trying to convince you that I care about you. I do. Obviously, I wouldn't make this true information, but everybody's selling their junk right now. Even a loan officer. Like, man, listen, if you're watching this video and you're a loan officer, I promise you, like, I do not dislike you as a person, but your profession, the amount of junk that you've been selling to these people out here, these buy downs and these adjustable rates, when you yourself can't even explain where mortgage rates come from or why they will or won't go down in the future, man, it's despicable. And if you're one of my loan partners, hey man, it is what it is. It ain't no beef, but if you want it, let's cook it up, man. And on top of that, the new construction people. You know, I got to get on your head too. You new construction folks, there's never a rainy day around y'all. In fact, I don't even think that you all are really explaining to these people how their mortgage is gonna jump after these little teaser rates that y'all putting out there expire, or the next year when their mortgage goes up $1,000 or $750. Y'all not explaining to these people. I'm gonna keep talking about that subdivision that I went over to in South Fulton or College Park or wherever it was with that giant water tower in the neighborhood, talking about $3,500 per month on a 2-1 buy down for an 1,800 square foot home. Man, you got to be kidding me. But at the end of the day, if you buy it, that's your fault. Because they said, fool me once, shame on you. And the realtors, they've been doing that the last couple of years. Fool you twice. That's shame on me, but you get what I'm saying. In your terms, it would be shame on you again. But you get what I'm saying? So I'm gonna explain to you today how everything is a cycle. Everything in life is a cycle. It goes up, it goes down. It goes up, it goes down. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down, right? When you're up, don't get too high because you know that at some point might not be as high. And when you're down, don't get too down because you got to understand down not going to last forever unless you let it happen that way and just keep going down. But you get what I'm saying? Everything goes in a cycle and real estate is in a cycle as well. It always has been, but nobody ever taught you that. So today we're going to talk about the 4 cycles or the 4 parts of a cycle in the real estate market. And after this video, you know exactly how real estate works. And hopefully, if you're paying attention, you'll actually be able to figure out what part of the cycle we're in so you can figure out what you need to do, whether you're buying, selling, or investing in real estate. I guarantee you, when you understand these cycles or these parts of a cycle, keep saying that. When you understand these parts of a cycle, you're going to be much better off to make a much better informed decision. And I promise you, it's very, very easy to understand. So one more time, please hit the like button. I'm just going to stop doing videos altogether. No, I'm probably not. But at the end of the day, if you're a hater and you don't hit the like button, then that's going to show up somewhere in your own life, and you'll probably be one of these people. And I hope you get a 9% rate when you buy your house. Let's get into it. All right, now let's jump into the chart here. As you can see on the y-axis, like the arrow is pointing the wrong way. The y-axis is the one going up and down, all right? And it says housing supply, which is right, but the arrow is actually like going down. Like, so you have it's really an inverse relationship. So if you can ignore the arrow that's going up on that side, I probably shouldn't have arrow there. It should just be like increasing into the negative, if you will. All right, and on the x-axis, the one that goes this way, right, horizontally, you have time. All right, now that arrow is correct. That green arrow that you have in the middle, that is the home prices moving average, okay? We know that home prices go up over time, all right? And the reason that is because home prices are really just a reflection of inflation. So everything always goes up year after year. I promise you, there's nothing that magical about your home, but like I said, it does go up long term. So you're one of those people who like, see, I told you buying a house right now was a good idea. All right, good for you. Wait 40, 50 years, and I'm sure you're going to win just like everybody else. Now, let's talk about these quadrants, all right? Quadrant 1, all right? Remember, inverse relationship with housing supply. So although the arrow is pointing upwards, it means that housing supply is decreasing. My bad, but we're already filming, so let's get into it, all right? Quadrant number 1, this is right around 2019, 2018, moving forward up until about 2022, all right? So what you had happen there was home prices started to increase, housing supply started to decrease, all right? So you have increasing demand and lowering supply, which is why the home prices really got out of check, okay? That's quadrant 1. It's when home prices got out of check, demand was high, supply was decreasing, and you saw people going crazy over these homes, $50,000, $100,000, no appraisal, right? People buying shacks. People started living in tiny homes, right? People buying tiny homes for $200,000, right? This is probably the worst quadrant to be in unless you're able to buy like at the beginning. But for you who are just learning, then all right, quadrant number 1, you have increasing demand, and once you get to a certain point where the prices get super high, what you start to see is that inventory has gotten really, really low. And then we're going to switch over into quadrant 2, which is where we are right now, depending on what market you're in. Now, in quadrant 2, that's when you have increasing supply and decreasing demand. Now, remember, this green line here, this lighter green line, represents the moving average. So that's what home prices people are really more comfortable with buying at, right? But as you see in quadrant 1, because of the way that they rose up, because of low supply, right? We get to a point to where we enter quadrant 2, and now supply starts increasing where we are today. Why is supply increasing today? And I know you people out there, the negative ones, I wouldn't say the negative ones, but the people who are like the crash naysayers, you're like, there's no foreclosure, so supply isn't increasing. Right. I got boots on the ground, and I can tell you that there are more new listings coming to the market every single month than homes that are selling. So if there are more homes coming to the market every single month than homes that are selling, what do you call that, Mr. or Miss Mathematician? You end up with increasing supply, which is why we're in quadrant number 2 right now. I ain't here to argue with anybody or debate. If you want to say something, go into the comments. But, I research this information, and I'll be glad to tune into your channel to hear what you got to say. Anyways, so now that we're in quadrant number 2, you have increasing supply and decreasing demand. Now, why is the demand decreasing? Obviously, we have super high interest rates, and because the price is much higher than the moving average. Remember, the moving average is the true comfortable range that people are okay with paying, okay, for a house, okay? So in quadrant number 2, we have increase in supply. Because that supply is increasing and demand is decreasing, you're going to see home prices creep right back to the moving average, right? But just because they touch the moving average, that doesn't mean that it's just going to completely reverse, right? That's where we get quadrant number 3. Because in between quadrants 2 and 3, you usually have some type of recession or some type of major job losses to where people are just tapped out of the market. And what you're going to see over the next coming months, maybe the next coming years, is that although interest rates may come down slightly, you're not going to see a lot of people really re-enter the housing market because they may not have the down payment. They may just feel like waiting. I mean, they've been waiting all this time all along, or they may just have lost an appetite for buying a house, which does happen from time to time, right? So once we get to quadrant number 3, that's when you will see that we're underpriced in the market. But just because we're underpriced in the market, that doesn't mean that we just instantly flip over, right? But that is when we have low demand and high supply. So when you're in a market with low demand, high supply, that means that people actually have choices. And when you have choices, you're not going to be rushed to make a decision, right? When you have choices in anything, what's the point of rushing? So when we enter quadrant number 3 in the next couple of years or possibly months, depending on what market you're in, what you're going to find is that there are so many homes available that the people who could buy them, they're just going to take their time. And because they're taking their time, that's where you're going to see prices continue to decrease. Remember, we're below the moving average now. Prices are going to continue to decrease as we go through quadrant number 3. All right. Now, at a certain point, because interest rates drop or because people decide that, you know what, housing is so cheap that I really just want to go ahead and grab me something, and it really makes sense for people to do it again, that's when we move to quadrant number 4. And we have demand increasing because we have people that are buying homes again. Obviously, that supply is going to start to shrink again, which is going to rise the prices back up. We're going to hit that moving average, and we're going to repeat the whole process all over again. Now, if you think about what happened in 2006, for example, 2006, that was where you had pretty much almost the top of quadrant number 1. Nobody in 2006 was saying that what happened in 2009, 2010 in terms of prices is going to happen. Don't lie and tell me that people were saying that. People were saying that these housing prices are never going to go down. The only person was like, I don't know, Michael Burry, Big Short person, like the only person who was saying that. So if you want a historical context for this strategy or this breakdown of the housing cycles, you can think of quadrant number 1 as 2006. If you were around, you remember that it just seemed like, hey, you know what? Supply did get kind of low and demand was through the roof, right? And then in 2007, 2008, 2009, that's when you started to see, wait a minute, there's so much supply out here, but people aren't wanting to buy these homes. And you saw the prices actually begin to come down. You saw neighborhoods not being finished. Builders were going bankrupt because the builders always show up like right here between quadrant 1 and number 2. Like at this line, that's where the builders show up. And I probably should have drew like a little hammer right here to show you that that's usually where the builders show up. But yeah, like after, 2008, 2009, that is when you saw the housing market really start to take a dive in terms of prices. And also that inventory was just everywhere. Inventory had just crept up. Now, 2010, 2011, that's when housing prices had actually gotten to their lowest. That's where we were in quadrant number 3 last time. They were at their lowest because there was still a ton of supply. But at that point, people had been decimated by the Great Recession. Nobody wanted to buy. Then at some point, 2011, 2012, that's when people were like, hey, no, housing is just way too cheap. I got to get back into the market. They bought it back up, and then the cycle repeats itself over and over again. So I just broke down to you the 4 cycles of the housing market, something that you've never seen anywhere else. What cycle or what quadrant do you think that we're in right now? Do you think we're still in number 1, or do you think that we're in number 2? I don't know how anybody could think that we're in number 3 unless you're, I don't know, Barbara Corcoran or one of these other people telling you that now is the perfect time to buy. Or are you just really crazy thinking like, oh, yep, we're in quadrant number 4. Make sure that you comment below and, of course, hit the likes button. I really spend a lot of time giving a lot of thought to figure out how I can help you make the best move when it comes to your next real estate move or your next real estate purchase or whatever you're doing with a house. I want to make sure that I'm here to give you the right information. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was fun for you. I hope you learned something new. If you did, comment below. And if you have a topic that you would like me to cover in one of my next videos, write it below. I'll respond. Let's get to it. I appreciate your love. And of course, I appreciate your support. This is a Trusted Realtor. Deal closed. Peace. Oh yeah, and I forgot. If you don't understand the way to look at charts, you need to get my course. It's 99 bucks. 99 bucks before it goes up. I'm telling you, I'm going to raise the price back up to where it was. I used to charge $1,500. So that's that, right? Go ahead and grab it, and I'm out. Again, a Trusted Realtor. Peace. I promise you, I'm going this time. Bye-bye.